Hello tacticians, it's Nox here, and so is Thaumachus' quest. And before we go into how I have completed these levels, I just want to say my usual thank yous, and today they go to Papa Lone Star, the Slayer 1012, Unter Hosendieb, and Jay. All of you have used my friend code, and it is very much appreciated, as it really does help me out. So now, let's see how I am going to complete these missions. Common 1 means we have to use ranged characters as well as the usual aspect of not taking any damage. So I'm going to use Abraxas, and by doing so I need to move him up next to these two Imperial Guard and move Thaumachus next to him. Now, if you haven't got Abraxas, Volk will do just as well. You just need to put him where Thaumachus is and use his frenzied firing. At which point just pick off whoever's left and you'll be fine. Here, using Abraxas, I've got him a shield on him, and I'm making sure that I can place the pink horror down here to kill off these two guardsmen. One fled, but even if it didn't flee, you'd get the second screamer. Then, before you kill the mortar team, use attempted possession, because he'll then kill the one down here. And finally, use your incursion to kill off the mortar team. And the rest is easy. Common 2 is the usual of take no damage, and again Abraxas is the perfect fit. All you need to do is put him in a decent space for the pink horror to hit 2, and the screamers will take care of the rest. Now you've got two las cannon teams at the top, which your screamers will basically end up flying into, so there's not too much of an issue here, but we'll kill off this guardsman and summon another screamer, and we can't actually reach him with Thaumachus. So we'll just put people in a good enough position and let them have their turn. Now again, if you don't use Abraxas, he does obviously make this a lot easier. Volk is a great option to use, and again you would have used his frenzied firing in roughly the same position that Abraxas was. Common 3 again means take no damage. So the first thing you need to do is put Volk forward and use your frenzied firing to clear off some of these guardsmen. Move Thaumachus next to Abraxas, who can then move up. Now, if you don't have Abraxas here, things are probably going to get a bit sticky, but possibly using Archimatos here and summoning around Cut will probably do the job. Here I'm using Abraxas to summon in his pink horror, and the rest will be filled in with screamers. We're going to jump up behind there and move Archimatos forward. I don't think they're going to do actually much in this game. And we can finish this off probably by moving Volk next to Abraxas, who will lend Volk his Infernal Pax, so he does additional psychic damage on his attacks. Didn't quite kill him, but it's pretty much a done deal. Uncommon 1 doesn't want you to use power weapons or physical weapons. And you've got these two las cannons to worry about, so all that you can really do with Thaumachus is move back 1 and give Abraxas the shield. He will then move up and take the shots from those las cannons and summon in your pink horror. Then, with Archimatos, it's a case of using bloodletters to kill off one, or not, of the las cannons. But they should target the summons, and this should be easy from here on in. With a shield around Abraxas, we can move up, safe in the knowledge that even though he will be shot, he won't take any damage. And on the final turn, we finish. Uncommon 2 restricts you to having to use only people who can use psychic damage. So if you don't have Abraxas here, this one could be fairly tricky, as the number of enemies on screen may make it hard for the summons from Archimatos to put up with the amount of damage. So by all means use it, and if you are going to summon around one person, I'd probably do this one and focus on the three at the bottom. However, if you've got Abraxas, move him into the middle, and, well, hopefully if I put the pink horror here, he'll target these two. Excellent. So this should mean I'll get a full complement, or close enough, of screamers. And there you go. We're going to use Yazagor to go to here, and we're going to switch places with Abraxas. And the reason being, we can hit this one and summon more screamers. With that done, we just move up with Archimatos, who's pretty much just twiddling his thumbs. Uncommon 3 means we can't use any heavy round damage. So we put Angrax in the corner and follow up with Thaumachus to give him a shield. All these guys are going to go up and they will shoot at Angrax. Harken comes down and we place these two like so. So the first thing you need to do is bring Angrax down again and use his Bringer of Despair, his active ability, on the two guardsmen here. If you're lucky, you'll get a flea. If not, he'll stay there, and you'll get rid of him eventually with Abraxas' active, which we're about to use now. So we put the pink horror here, because it shoots over here all the time. And then the screamers come in to deal damage to Sybil. We'll bring Harken down and use his active ability on this guardsman, which will kill him off and hopefully trigger a flea. I got two, but the whole point is we're just trying to find somewhere to give Archimatos a place to summon in his bloodletters. And we'll move Thaumachus here to kill off Sybil. Now, with all the summons ripe for picking, the guardsmen do what they do and try and kill them first. And we should quite happily mop up. Like that. Rare 1 means we can't use anyone with piercing damage, and we can't use anyone with resilient. So, I've put Abraxas in yet again. And before we do that, we're going to move Archimatos down and summon the bloodletters around this fella. Then we'll summon in the pink horror and the screamers to kill these three off. And we'll say you'll go. Now there's plenty of summons on the field, so my characters shouldn't be attacked. And then the summons should go to town. We'll move Archimatos. We might get a kill. We didn't. So we'll move up again and kill it off. So we've got another turn. Where are those two landing? We'll have to move over here and hope he doesn't get hit. Bit of RNG on where they landed, but should be doable. Rare 2 means you have to use your 1,000 Suns. The first thing to do is move Thaumachus back to give a shield to Yazagor, who can then go all the way up and his shield will protect him, and use Sorceress Facade on Abraxas here. We're then going to move Abraxas up and place the pink horror at the top to hopefully do some damage to these guardsmen, not enough unfortunately, and some to the last cannons at the bottom. Again, not quite enough. Oh, that one killed, good. The guardsmen will have their go. So all we need to do now is move everyone back up. I probably should kill this one off and hope for a flee. No flee. But everyone is in position now to finish them off nicely. Rare 3 means we've only got one turn. So again, this is one for your 1,000 suns. And it's a case of hitting everyone with as much psychic damage as possible so that Toth can use his Hellfire missile rack on this guardsman up here and kill everyone. Rare 4 means we have to use ranged characters, and this is really one for Yazagor to slingshot Abraxas all the way up to the top. And I think if we put Abraxas here and place the pink horror on the barbed wire, we should be able to get rid of a good number of these guardsmen and hopefully get the full complement of screamers. Then it's just a case of moving everyone else up. Now obviously the guardsmen will retaliate and probably kill off a few screamers, but mopping up from here shouldn't prove too difficult. In fact, it looks fairly easy. Rare 5 has got the simple requirement of no direct damage, so again Abraxas is going to lead the way on this one, and we're going to summon in the pink horror. This should again summon in hopefully a full complement of screamers. And we are going to surround this guy with bloodletters. The idea being the more summons we have, the less likely it is our guys are going to get injured. And we'll get rid of the mortar team. And we'll put Harken up, ready to charge forward. Now we're going to lose a number of our summons here, but our goal is to kill Yarrick. Well, now. Before he gets to summon any more guardsmen. So we'll start off by hitting him with some psychic damage. And it looks like we can finish him off with Harken, but if that fails, we'll finish him off with Toth. I'm tempted to actually send in Toth first, see if we can actually hit. What would we do? It only hits those two. So is there a way we can hit more? Doesn't look like it. So let's send in Toth, because Harken can always finish the job with his Herald of the Apocalypse, which should hopefully make one flee, or not, in the case may be. And we'll go up with Archimatos. We can go up and just hit them normally. No need to use his ability to make them attack each other, because obviously just doing damage is far more preferable. Epic 1 is Psychers only, so guess who we're using? Yes, you've guessed it, it's Abraxas. When it comes to the 1,000 Suns, Abraxas is pretty much maybe the only tool you'll ever need to use. Now, if I had brought in Yazagor, I could have probably sent him down, done the switch, and then attacked these two, but I didn't think of that. So what we'll do, we'll summon some bloodletters around this one and finish it off with Thaumachus. And move everyone down. The next turn, I'm guessing my summons will just take care of these two. 2 has a number of las cannons here, so we're going to hope that the shield is strong enough to hold for Yazagor here, and we're going to switch places with, well, yes, it's going to be Abraxas again. And I'm trying to decide where is the best place to put him. Maybe here? Maybe. Let's see how this works out. So we'll put the pink horror here to attack these two. And see if these all die. Yes, they do. Well, obviously 2 are left. They're going to be targeting the Screamers, so we'll just move the other 2 up. Not that they're actually needed. And the Screamers should finish it off. Epic 3 means we have to use ranged characters, and the key really here is to make sure that Abraxas gets the shield from Thaumachus, because you send Yazagor up to kill one and switch places, move onto this point and summon the pink horror down by this cliff edge. That's then going to summon in all the Screamers and kill off virtually all the guardsmen and the mortar team around him. We can then move up and summon in yet more bloodletters around this mortar team to finish them off. And of course, move Toth forward as he may be needed next turn. The barrage that Thaddeus brings down, if it hits Abraxas, because he's now got that shield, means he won't be hurt. And now all we have to do is make sure that everyone dies, and that's why we've got Toth. Although at this point, it's not of much use. We'll move Abraxas up. It would have been useful if there'd been someone within range, but unfortunately there's not. We'll put Abraxas up and hopefully kill these both off. Because of the extra movement that Yazagor gets, we can now finish it. Phew. And then the legendary, where you can only have a maximum of 2 hits in your ranged attacks, or in your melee attacks if you don't have ranged. I brought in Pestillion here. I think probably put him in the wrong place, but it doesn't really come into it much because I activate his special. And that's to make sure when I move Thaumachus across to Thaddeus, he actually kills him in one blow. I then do the Sorceress Facade versus Yarrick and pull up Abraxas, who moves across towards Sybil, and I'll be summoning in the pink horror in a second, but before I did that, I moved up with my bloodletters to kill Yarrick. Now, my bloodletter skill here is at level 42, so you might be able to get away with a little bit lower. Then in comes the pink horror, and I'm trying to do as much damage as I can to Sybil. So I've now got all my summons, and it's their turn, and they do a pretty good job at killing off my summons. But thankfully I've got a few left, and they start returning the favour. The important thing to note at this point is remember that when you do psychic damage to 3 or more enemies, your 1,000 Suns will always do the maximum amount of damage. So that's why I move in with Archimatos first to do his, and you saw that animation, meaning I'm going to do the maximum damage now. So that means I know I'm going to kill Creed, and hopefully with a bit of luck I'll hit Cut as well, and if not, I've still got Thaumachus nearby to finish the job. But I did kill him at the same time. Took me a few attempts, but it is very possible. If you like these videos, then it would be much appreciated if you at least think about using my friend code, as it really does help me out. Or if you or your guilds are looking for a new home, please reach out to any of the guilds shown, as we'll always welcome new people into our midst. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the battlefield.